Well, would you looky here? We have a new Alter Realm exploration zone. So you already know what this means. This means that we're going to have a freaking blast. This means that the pinnacle of gameplay has arrived to us, and we all know that it's going to be a brand new experience that we have never ever seen. Nothing of the likes before, and we're going to be absolutely amazed by all of it. So because that's how everything is in this game. Okay, hey, but first, before we dive in, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out tremendously. Thank you very much. So today we did get the new update for the new Alter Realm Zone, which is the Tundra Zone. And we're going to go about this objectively speaking because, of course we don't want to be too biased or whatnot about it or anything like that. So we're going to go about it in a manner where we can kind of discuss it, break it down, and say if it's actually good or if it's actually not. Got this guy over here. Oh, where'd they go? Oh, they're running over there. They're running there. They're frozen in the distance. But nonetheless, we're going to dive into this and we're going to say if it's good or not. I will actually say, objectively speaking, that this new zone is actually good in comparison. If you're comparing it to but definitely to the prior Alter Realm zone, and if you're comparing it to other exploration zones, other 32-person exploration zones that are, well, I guess there's only one that's a quest, which is the other Alter Realm, or like I guess Nameless City, right? Nameless City is 32 as well, but it's not terrible. Now, course, it's still more the same. So let's dive into that. So as you can see here, you can access this quest by going to this menu right here and clicking on the quest menu. Goes to Alter Realm Exploration, Interception Sectors, and you'll find it here, Altered Investigation, South Tundra Area. Now, first thing that you'll note here is this massive list of items on here. So this is a one-stop shop for everything you want to be in here if you are doing stuff on the game, because it drops everything from your lay-in weapons, your crest weapons, the new 4-star armor, this is the new 13-star armor, and it drops all of your skill rings. This right here is pretty significant. It drops all your skill rings. So you definitely want to go in there if you're looking for those as well. You're trying to upgrade those. It drops Cystidia, which is the new augment that you'll need to use for the new Argant augment, which we'll show you. But it drops everything in here as well as the mats that you need for this stuff. So you have Langigas Maste, you have Magus as well, all the Magus variants in here as well. Magus Gigas Maste, so it drops all the stuff, which are the mats that will be needed for that as well. And it drops a little camo here. So this zone in itself is pretty straightforward. It runs just like the previous Alter Realm did. Whereas you have like this little 8-minute timer that this boss spawns. Now this one's a bit better because you have a whole bunch more going on. You have more boss spawns. Sometimes bosses spawn all the way across the map. Some of the little quests that you have or trials that you have going on there, it's like a bunch of bosses just essentially just spawning like crazy, like 3-4 bosses in a row on different sides of the map. So it makes it more enjoyable. And that's why I'm saying I think that this exploration zone, or exploration, I can't even call it exploration zone, but this exploration sector is one of the better ones. It's definitely better than the previous Alter Realm that we got, which is in the Central Redum, right? Definitely better than that one. But it's still more of the same. And then, of course, you're also dealing with the final boss of PSO2 NGS, which is not Dark Falls, not Luther, not any of these people. No. The final mega boss of PSO2 NGS has always been the servers. In all ship matchmaking, especially when something new comes out, these servers are your biggest #1 enemy because the game is virtually unplayable whenever something new comes out. And that's not even, at this point, it's not even because there's a whole lot of people on there. It's just probably because they have like the lowest plan possible. Because like I said before, realistically speaking, you get these peaks that last for like a week, and then the game virtually goes back into kind of like a shell. So, I mean, it doesn't realistically speaking make sense for them to like invest into a bigger server plan that, can hold more space when like 98% of the time they're not even reaching anywhere near what that number would be. So I understand that from a business logistics perspective. However, it is super annoying and it really ruins the experience. But the other alternative that they've gone with is not having all-ship matchmaking, which is not an option, especially nowadays. It's not an option not to have all-ship matchmaking. It simply isn't. You have to have it. So I'd rather have it and deal with the nonsense than not have it. Now, of course, you can always bypass that stuff by simply just going in here and going like so to this, and then just going to we go here, configure, and then make a password and uncheck enable all ship matchmaking. Now, of course, oh well, you don't have to make a password unless you want to. But you can just uncheck this and then go into there. But that's assuming that your ship has people running it. If you're on a populated ship, you probably have people in there running it. If you're not on the populated ship, however, then you might go in there as 2 people. So that's why all ship matchmaking is necessary. However, all ship matchmaking is so jank because the servers are straight doo-doo cheeks. And I'm a booty guy myself. But these are not the type of booty cheeks that I like to partake in. No, there's no meat on these booty cheeks. There's no bounce on these booty cheeks. So these are not the type of booty cheeks that we want to be partaking in. These servers are not the good booty cheeks. They are the very much the negative booty cheeks that we want no involvement in. That's the servers for the Ultra matchmaking. But at any rate, objectively speaking, like I said, the Ultra Realm is not terrible. The new exploration one is definitely better than the previous sector that we had for Redum. It's definitely better, and it's more enjoyable. Like you could definitely go in there and spend some time in there and grind in there, especially because there's so much in there that you can get. It's just full of stuff that you can get, that you need, that you want, and because of that, it makes it much more enjoyable. So it doesn't feel like there's any time really wasted in there if your objective is getting stuff and gearing up, and or maybe even selling stuff, selling augments, and it's perfect for that. Now, diving into what's in there, let's go to these new augments that we got as well, which are the Argant series. Alright, so to get to the new augments, you're going to go over here per the usual spot, and you're going to go to Mr.
Time to get buff.
Time to get buff. Sorry, I been a while since I heard that. But you're going to go over here, exchange enhancement materials, augment capsule, and Argant Gigasmasti. So you'll see here what's necessary here: the Cystidia, the land Gigasmasti, the Magis Gigasmasti, and we just showed that those drop in that zone, right? We just showed that those drop in that zone, so you can farm all that in there if you need it. Cystidia is very easy to get, honestly speaking. You'll get 3 guaranteed from like the big boss. Remember, Ultra Realm is, the 8 minutes, so the 8 minutes the boss will spawn. From the big boss, you'll get 3 of those. But you can also get those throughout with the trials and stuff like that. So it's very easy to get the amount of Cystidias that you need to make some of these. And of course, idealistically speaking, you want to make 1 and then use Augment, Item Protects, and then maybe some boosters. That's how you're not, you never really want to get, 10 of them to have 70% success rate. No. You want to use 1, capitalize on Augment, Item Protects, and a 20%, 40% booster, whichever you have, to try to get those on there and, not losing your Augment in the process. That's what you want to do. So, realistically speaking, it's not too difficult to get these because the city drops out the wazoo. You have these other mats that drop in there as well. You don't have to craft them. They drop in there as well. But of course, many of you probably have some like standing around, sitting around that you can craft either way. So you're good to go. But this new augment is pretty significant, as you can see there. Stats on this baby are pretty substantial. Let's go back on that so you can see that. So 5.75, as you can see right here. Pretty substantial augment. Definitely want to upgrade that from your previous Gigasmasti, which is your down here, which is your 4.75. So you get a full-on, So you get a full-on bump from that to this. So this is pretty nice and definitely something that you would definitely want to consider. So these are pretty much our 2 things here, and that's really where your gameplay is going to come into in regards to Ultra Realm, Interception, South Tundra, Tavares. I believe I said that whole name correctly, right? Let's check. let's check. Interception, South Tundra Area. Okay, whatever, same thing. Same thing. South Tundra, Tavares. It's random. I don't. Whatever. It's whatever. Okay, it's the Tundra. It's the Southern Tundra. I don't care. At any rate, y'all, this about wraps that one up. I'll let y'all know here. So, like I said, it's okay. It's one of the better ones. However, it's still the same loop type of deal that we're going through. It's ultimately, objectively comparing to things or like the previous Alter Realm, it's a step up. From the full scope of things, of course, there's still the persistent issues that the game has, and that, of course, stems around the fact that we're never leaving Alpha. That's a huge issue. It's just ultimately just ways to kind of, capitalize on using the same areas over and making them unique in certain ways and trying their best at what they have. I understand it, but yeah, it doesn't. It's not your gotta hop on here. It's changing the game. It's changing. It can be fun, but it's still ultimately more the same. Anyway, y'all, be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your goals are. Let me know if you gotten any luck with any armors, any fixes, skill rings, any whatever. See you on the next one. Much love. Ha. Spikes content.